Thank you very much, Joey. Ladies and gentlemen, what about a round of applause for Mick Fanning, Steph Gilmore and Mason Ho? That was so cool, iconic. Rip Curl Icons heat, and the fun keeps going down here at the Rip Curl Pro. Even though the comp is on hold for just a moment, we have got a delightful afternoon full of lots of fun coming up. And speaking of delightful, make sure you get up to the Stone and Wood bar up the top, or come down to the bowl and watch the Afternoon Delight expression session play out. We have got absolute legends that we're going to invite onto the stage right now. And let's start with a recently inducted Hall of Famer, Luke Egan. Please make him welcome. G'day, Louie. The Stone and Wood Afternoon Delight, mate. Stone and Wood, the unofficial beer of the Rip Curl Pro, and this is the unofficial comp of the Rip Curl Pro. How frothing are you to have a crack at it?
Yeah, I'm psyched to get out off the bowl with only 5 other crew and ride one of these beautiful twin fins.
That's right. The Stone and Wood Afternoon Delight is twin fins only, and we're going to actually draw the boards out of a hat, except that you're so legendary, man. We're actually just going to let you pick your first board. So, I mean, there's a few here, beautiful craft. Let's start up this end. Kersey and Hamo's draft. We've got Sharma Buttonshaw's 20 there. Bobby McTavish, what a legend. Neil Purchase Jr., one of the great goose from up there on the Goldie. And, well, what about this one on the end here? What do you make of this? The great Mark Richards, a 4 times Bells winner.
Well, being from Merriweather, and the reason I became a professional surfer was the guy that shaped this board, so I'd have to take the MR. So it's taken. There
you go. Luke Egan picks the MR. No surprises there. Round of applause for Louis, folks. And we're going to start inviting our other competitors up. Let's get Rosy Hodge, the WSL competitor and commentator. Absolutely delightful human being, surfing in the Stone and Wood Afternoon Delight competition. Hi, Rosie.
Hello, good to be here, Warno. Let's have a look.
Okay, do you have a board here that you'd like to get hold of, or are you happy with anything?
I'll go with anything. I just feel like all of these shapers are pretty legendary, so yeah, not really too fussed about it. I think everyone's going to have some good equipment.
Okay, let's see who it is.
McTavish.
Wow, the Bob McTavish. Nice work, Rosie. Oh, it is beautiful. The twin fin. It'll be so friendly. I know, it's a work of art. All right, our next competitor is also a WSL surfer and commentator. Please welcome to the stage, Jess Starling. Come on up, Jess. How are you feeling? Have you surfed heats in the bowl before?
No, actually I've only surfed Bells twice, and they've been over the last 2 days, so we'll see how we go.
It shouldn't be too nerve-wracking. There's only about 20,000 people here and the live broadcast watching. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's whatever, Vaughan. We'll roll with it.
Let's get you aboard. Who's it going to be?
Ooh, Neil Purchase Jr.
Nice, Percho. Well played. Oh, yeah, it's a good size. Oops, sorry, Jono. Come on through. The Stone and Wood Afternoon Delight expression session has 2 surfers to go, both locals. Let's get last year's wildcard entrant trials winner. Come on up, Tully Wiley from Torquay Board Riders. Yeah, Tull. Mate, I bet you can't wait to paddle back into the bowl with a rashy on.
Yeah, it's good to get another chance to get back out there, and it looks fun, so can't wait.
Are you expecting this crowd to get right in behind you, or do you reckon they might be right in behind the next bloke?
They might get around the next bloke. He's had a better result than me out here, so I think they'll be getting around him, but no, it's going to be fun.
2 boards left, mate. You're a big fella. They're pretty little boards. Let's see how you go.
Sharma
Buttonshaw, there you go. Nice work, mate. Come on over. And just finally, let's get our last competitor in the Stone and Wood Afternoon Delight. He's going to take the draft. Do you want to take it out of the hat? Ladies and gentlemen, the 2009 Rip Curl Pro runner-up, Adam Robbo, one of the all-time great performances by a local in this event. How's it feel, mate? Boardies, you're that confident, eh?
Oh, I didn't have a Weddy in the car, so this is all I could find.
Well prepared, mate. Memories of surfing that, just for this crowd. We want to take you back there. It was so special.
Yeah, long time ago now. Sort of years keep creeping on by, but No, it's good. I mean, anytime they get to surf the Bells with not many guys out, it's always good. And yeah, the year of 2009 was unreal. The waves were really good, so that made it a bit easier for me to surf well. And yeah, always a good memory.
It was a great memory, mate. Well done. A round of applause for Adam Robbo. Such a legend. He'll be out there on the Kersey model, the draft. And we're just about to kick this thing off. So, is it? No, that's just the hat protector, mate. So there's our competitors, folks. Give them a round of applause. Luke Egan, Rosy Hodge, Jess Starling, Tully Wiley, and Adam Robbo. And don't forget, the Stone and Wood Bar will be open all afternoon. Get up there, enjoy a cold one. And we'll have a band playing the Savo as well. Velvet Club. Check them out. Let's rip into it, folks.
Thank you, Vaughan. The Stone and Wood Afternoon Delight Twin Fin session about to go down. Some big hitters in that lineup. Some incredible twin fin equipment. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch as the beer starts flowing up there at the Stone and Wood Bar. It's going to be fantastic. Don't miss it. We'll be back with the action in just a moment. Welcome back to the show. A beautiful afternoon here at Bells Beach for the Rip Curl Pro presented by Bonsoy. And we've had a special treat today, getting the opportunity to see Mick Fanning, Stephanie Gilmore, Mason Ho out there in an expression session, an Icons expression session. And now we are moving into the Stone and Wood Afternoon Delight Twin Fin session. We met the competitors that will be out there, all the players. I should say Adam Robinson, who's finalled here at the Rip Curl Pro in the past, working with Surfing Victoria these days. Tully Wiley, another surfer who's campaigning on the Challenger Series, has also broken through into the main event here and done some damage in the past. We've got our very own Rosy Hodge out there. Jess Starling will be joining us at different stages on the commentary through the Australian leg. And Luke Egan, one of Australia's finest, one of the best goofs of all time, will be out there riding a Mark Richards twin. Going to be a lot of fun. Ronnie Blakey sitting alongside Richie Lovett. Rich, Luke Egan, you travelled with him for a number of years on tour. One of your favourites. Just such an iconic style.
Yeah, Louis and I, we did a lot of years together on the tour. Stayed everywhere, really, all around the world. And yeah, I actually looked up to Louis, somewhat of a mentor on tour. You know, he was sort of half a generation before I was. And yeah, really loved his style. Again, I was always drawn to these surfers like Tom Curran, Parko, Luke Egan, the real style masters of our sport, and Louis right up there.
Never got the Bells victory himself, Luke, but has coached many a Bells champion. As we see Tully here on the Sharma Buttonshaw design.
We'll talk about big goofy footers.
I saw your eyes kind of light up when they were running through the quiver, Rich. You've been punching out a few twin fins yourself.
Yeah, plenty. Yeah, absolutely. I've been shaping for close to 20 years now, designing and shaping. And I love the 20s. It really is. It's an essential for the quiver, I think. And there's a huge difference between the feel between a thruster and a twin fin. Just eliminating that centre fin just gives you all this freedom and speed. It eliminates the drag. But there are some adjustments that need to be made if you're going to surf a 20 well. There's a little bit of heel-toe movement that you need to do. You need to be very conscious about where your back foot's parked. That's Robbo there on the draft.
He's got a loose fin.
Yeah, one of Kersey's creations. Maybe he hasn't screwed it in.
Asking for a fin key out there. Yeah, easy choice for Luke. The Mark Richards, the MR looked like the biggest board in the quiver on stage, but also MR, such an amazing track record here at Bells. 4 victories, equal with Kelly Slater and Mick Fanning for the most wins here at Bells. So something about his equipment at this venue that really worked.
Yeah, well, MR, really put the twin fin up in lights. and made it popular and won his world titles on that design. It only seems fitting that Louis from Newcastle is riding Mark's boards, and I was actually checking it out before. It's actually set up as a twin +1, but Louis just opting to put the side fins in only. He took the stabiliser out. We weren't going to let him cheat and put the little stabiliser in, which adds that little bit of control. Looks like we might see, well, everyone's paddled up to Rincon. So this is that high tide break right under the cliff there. It looks like some of the competitors are out there too, warming up, which could be potentially, we could be on again this afternoon up at Rincon. Should be exciting.
Pretty good chance. I've seen a couple of decent waves roll through there already, as we see Luke up now. Mentioned that classic style. Just had so much power on the forehand, but broke through for some victories with his backhand as well.
Yeah, that board's it's got the gloss polish finish on it as well, which look amazing. But you know, tell me a high performance thruster that has a gloss finish on it. They don't, right? Because they are actually slower in the water. They don't travel through the water. Water tends to grab onto that gloss polish finish a little bit. Here we go. Here's Robbo.
Adam Robertson just loves experimenting with classic equipment in particular. We'll often get some
Greg Webber
creations, and just some experimental boards and get them out here on big days. He's checking that fin.
Things wobbling all over the place.
Yeah, looks pretty shifty. Might have to hit the beach and tighten things up a little bit. But great to have your company for the Stone and Wood Afternoon Delight Twin Fin session, day 1 of the event window here at Stop 5 on the Championship Tour, and a special treat, making use of this sort of in-between moment on the tide here, which often happens at Bells when you don't have a big day. And
well,
it's afforded us the opportunity to see some great surfing.
Well, it's actually great that the WSL took the time to put these, let's call them transition heats in the water, because in days gone past, we would just run through and you would be out in the heat going, should I sit on the bowl? Do I go to Rincon? And there was always these 2 or 3 heats where you'd feel like you got skunked, or you really needed to commit to one or the other. And it was a real gamble. It was a red or black moment at the casino. You just had to go, okay, I'm either going to stick with the bowl and hope a set breaks, or I'm going to take the chance and go up to Rincon. So we've taken the decision out of the equation, and if we do get heat starting again, it'll be right up at Rincon.
So talk to us, Rich. I think there's been a massive resurgence in the number of twins that you're seeing in lineups these days.
Yeah.
People have kind of fallen back in love with them. There was a sort of a period through the late 90s, early 2000s, where it was just nothing but high performance thrusters. Just such a great variation in the equipment that people are willing to take to a lineup these days.
Yeah, it's a different feeling that you get from riding a twin fin, and I think when people think about 20s, they normally think of a flat, wide board, you know, and only tiny little waves, as we see Louis throwing the backhand 3.
How good is that? That was silky. And Luke, you know, he was obviously inspired by, you know, some legendary surfers, Larry Bertelman back in the day in particular, throwing 360s. But Luke is kind of one of the first guys that we saw, I think, drift in the tail with power and swinging his board into reverse on the forehand. It's a move that he'd often go to, but that was a cool little backhand 3-0.
That was a nice little shimmy. And just back to your point, though, like twin fins now, there's so many different variations of twin fins. A lot of them are all actually rocket out, and you know, shapers and designers have started to experiment using concaves and twin fins. It's not just a flat V-bottom, you know, plank that's typically used in 2-foot waves. You know, you ask Mark Richards and he'll tell you the twin fin will go in anything, in huge waves, in big surf, and you know, they're not necessarily intended for mushy waves. You just got to know how to design them to make sure that they perform in bigger stuff.
Great lineup out there in the water at the moment. We're enjoying seeing Adam Robertson back out there. We're going to tap into the WSL vault and have a look at his wildcard run to the final back in 2009. He mentioned that the waves were firing that year. He thought it gave him a fantastic opportunity to pick the eyes out of the sets that were coming his way, but he does have some big committed rail turns, Rich, that he can lean into.
Oh, just so silky smooth. This rail game is just flawless out here on the Bells Bowl and on the Simon Anderson. So again, fitting Mr. Thruster, the 81 Bells champion. And this was Parko. So a real, not even a contrast of styles, very similar approach, these guys.
Yeah, Joel got the edge on him, but he beat some big names. Chris Davidson beat Durbridge, Tommy Whittaker, Kakao Picalso, Freddie Patachia, losing out to Joel in the final, but still celebrating like he won the event. And I'm sure they put a statue somewhere of him in Torquay. I don't know where it is, but have a look at that. I think he's finally lost that blade.
He's actually lost it. The skeg's fallen out.
Well, let's check in with Kaipo out the back.
Whoa, hey, just wanted to comment. Robbo, they build him tough as nails here in Vico. He's just out here in some board shorts, bareback in it. And it's not warm, but I guess this is nothing when you live over here. By the way, my cameraman Sam thinks it's really funny the way I say Victorian. Evidently I have an accent.
No, I love your accent, Kipes. It's a beauty. Mate, beautiful day out there for you. One of the more, I think, comfortable days that you've had out on the ski.
This is true for the island boy, because I'm actually like pretty comfortable because it gets bitter cold. But today, no problem, Ronnie.
I love it, and I saw you over at Rip Curl yesterday. Usually they try and line you up with a new 4-3, but you pack your own 5-4 for the Australian leg.
I didn't want to make any mistakes. Yes, I have a steamy 5-4 Rip Curl, and I'm feeling at home out here. I'm just going to stay out here until the battery runs out just because I'm so comfortable.
We love it. Great lineup out there. Just a little different, a great collection of humans, but I know as a goofy, Luke Egan is one of your surfing heroes. He's probably got the jump on the field out there at the moment. We've cleared Kipes.
Might have lost Kipes, but yeah, he is. Big Louie, Bigfoot. He's schooling everyone at the moment, and he would just feel so comfortable, so at home on one of MR's 20s here. So Mark's 20s are very classic. He has this panel V up front, and then it goes into a sort of a V spiral out the back, and he's got this little wing flyer down in the tail there. That creates a little bite point, which bit more control with the 20s. Here goes Tully.
Big, powerful unit.
We can see the different approach. Tully's really digging in hard, bringing a more high-performance approach to this, whereas Louis has just geared down a little bit. He's just creating a bit more style and flow.
Yeah, well, Luke would have, in his earlier years, had some time riding twin fins before the thrusters really took over, especially in MR town. Everyone had a couple of twins, and his MR's got a couple of different twin models. He's got his retro twin, which is I think what Luke's on at the moment. Then he's got his
well, there's the
super twin,
the super twin, which is the most popular, and then he's got his free ride twin, Bush Ranger model. This is Jess Starling up and riding on the Neil Purchase Jr.
Yeah, enjoyed calling heats with Jess on the Challenger Series last year. I think she's going to be joining us again at different stages during this Aussie treble, GWM Aussie treble.
Yeah, I didn't get a really good look at Jess's board, but Neil Purchase Jr., he approaches the twin fin setup in a different way. He actually puts two single fin boxes in there and has the fins quite parallel down the back of the board there. I actually haven't ridden one, but feedback is very, very good.
Yeah, I've seen people riding his boards in pretty sizey conditions, and still getting plenty of drive and hold out of that board. And as someone who commits themselves to riding the twin fin will tell you that if you know how to surf that rail, that you don't lose any drive. You just got to really commit to the rail turn, and you can actually rip through carbs as you would on a thruster. Someone like Asher Pacey is a pretty good example.
Yeah, I really like watching Rasta ride a 20, and even the classic sort of Steve Liss, Richard Pavel style sort of wider tail fishes, and you watch his back foot even move from one side of the tail to the other just to make sure he does get that rail engagement and keeps his control.
I think we've seen some people too improve their performance when moving to the twin from the thruster, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, well, Kersey obviously exclusively rides a 20 these days, and I think we're going to see him pop up on the Challenger Series at Newcastle.
Amazing.
How cool.
Sure, he'll be attacking the Challenger Series with his daughter Sierra this year. Yeah, Glenn Hall was another one. I mean, he had some okay results riding a thruster, but the surfing that he was doing around the CT events on twin fins when he started coaching was, I think, better.
Well, was it the Phil Byrne 20 that you've been riding the last couple of years? Ian Byrne, sorry.
Yeah, I've had about 4 boards.
Oh, mate. Well, that first one that you got, that you brought to G-Land and everywhere, and you won all the heats that we had together. That thing was so good, and I've seen you do some of your best surfing.
Oh, thanks,
on
Rick.
that board.
Thanks for bringing that up. Here goes our mate Rosy Hodge. Did a number of years on the championship tour, just scrambling to get into this one at Rincon. She's on the Bob McTavish. McTavish obviously with a couple of others get some credit for inventing the V-bottom. Big part of the shortboard revolution, still punching out beautiful equipment, classic boards, and one of our our board design trailblazers.
Yeah, Bob McTavish, huge influence on surfboard design, not just in Australia, but globally as well. Really focused his energies down around the Brookvale area and Sydney, New South Wales, became this sort of surfboard manufacturing hub, and then went up north to Noosa area, but really a pivotal character in the whole shortboard revolution.
Yep. Got his store in the industrial estate at Byron Bay there, which is worth checking out. You can see the full range of equipment. As we see Tully on the outside. Yeah, you can tell Tully is really just attacking sections on this twin fin like he's riding a normal shortboard. Luke, he's just settled right into the groove. Luke's one of those surfers that I think for a long time, if you're a goofy footer, it was Occy and Luke, Tom Carroll back in the day. These days it's probably, it was Owen Wright. Now it's probably Medina, Italo. But the goofies are really looking to for that inspiration as Tully finishes off a nice one there on the inside.
Yeah, Louis had that real knock-knee stance, and for such a big guy, he didn't look tall when he was surfing. He was quite compact, and again, just a style master and just iconic goofy footer in history. Iconic. There he goes.
Looking young and ripped at the moment. Little tweak on the tail there from Louis. It's like grabbing a bunch of bananas when you shake hands with Luke. He's got a big mitt. As he brings this one through to the inside, MR would be proud that Louis chose his board to take out there into the lineup here at Bells. Rincon's the perfect place for it as he rolls through to the inside.
I think that thing's going straight in Louis' board bag after this heat.
Yeah, maybe. All right, Kaipo enjoying things out there in the lineup, and he's tracked down Robbo.
It's just another summer day for you, just out here barebacking it. No wetsuit needed.
No. I actually didn't have any wetty or board in the car because normally I'm just running up and down the hill all day. So they said to do this, and I just had a pair of boardies in the car, and here we are.
How are you feeling?
Well, I haven't had a wave yet. I tried to do a bottom turn on the board before, and the fin came out. So I'll try and get one in a minute.
Okay, we're going to give you a tow out. Get one for us, actually, Robbo. Here we go. All right.
Robbo. Well, looks like it's the first time his shoulders have seen sun this year, or maybe in the last 10 years, but he'll get a nice little bronze on out there. So some solid set waves rolling our way. Let's hope that one of the players in this afternoon delight twin fin session, courtesy of Stone & Wood, can tap in.
Oh, we got a step off.
Step offs. It's Tully Wiley driving up into that first section. It looks like he's found a bit of a flow on this board now. And I believe that he's riding that draft equipment shaped by Hamo.
I think he's on the Sharma, maybe.
Oh, sorry, he's on the Sharma, but sure, excuse me. Driving through to the inside.
Oh, clicks it.
He's found something now.
He clicked it on the inside.
He's worked it out.
And this is what the 20s are all about. You got to work out. You got to get that little sweet spot with the back foot. Get that spot right above the fins where you can keep the control.
Bumped into Tully's dad, Nickel, when I arrived down here at Bells. He was heartbroken that Tully wasn't able to seal the deal and get a victory in the trials, but they had a big celebration night before last for Torquay board riders, and Tully's actually stepped up as a big player in the community. He's the president of the Torquay Board Riders Club, doing a great job. They had a massive night from all reports. Vaughan Blakey joins us now.
Hello, Ronnie.
Speaking of big nights, Vaughan, big Ain't That Swell show last night.
Yep, it was an unbelievable night, actually. Yep, went down to one of the local establishments, had Ross Clark-Jones on, Mason Ho on. Ethan Ewing came on as a special guest. It was so epic to just get in a real sort of solid community hub and just feel the gratitude from this town that just loves having everyone come in. It was really cool.
I love this event.
They love it.
They love good surfing.
They love it, Ron.
And we love it. Look, have a look at this. We've got a great lineup out there at the moment. Vaughan Tully's kind of struggled on his first couple of waves to get used to the feel of this twin. Shaped by Sharma Buttonshaw, and he's just really let go of a couple of beautiful turns. Yeah. But Luke Egan's kind of dominating out there at the moment.
Is he? Yeah, not surprised. Louis got his choice of the boards. Everyone else had to draw it out of a hat, but because Louis was, the recent inductee of the Australian Surfing Hall of Fame, we just thought, take your pick, Louis. Here you go. Here's all the boards. You take your pick. He just walked straight over the MR, went, yoink, thank you. And off he went with it down the hill. Everyone else left to fight it out over the other sticks. But there's some epic 20s down there.
Mate, really special night, the Hall of Fame induction, and you were hosting that one. How was the evening with Luke?
It was so cool. It's a who's who. Like everyone from sort of the Australian surfing culture gathers for this big night and to honour, a guy who has been one of the great servants to Australian surfing, particularly power surfing. Yes, he could blow the fins, but there was anything better than just Louis fanging down the line and just putting the back foot on the tail and just heaving it.
Yeah, ripping it.
He had the best frontside hack shots in just about surfing history. A lot of them taken by Bosco, the great Bosco.
Yeah, that's right. Well, another good goofy footer out there in the line. Two good goofy footers out there at the lineup. Talking story, Kaipo and Tully Wiley.
Thank you, Ronnie. Tully, how's the step off? The first ever one I've done out here, and I've lived here for 24 years, so pretty sick. That is it. Hey, what about Torquay board riders, mate, and the performance that you guys put on over there at the ABB?
Yeah, it's one of the best competitive days of my life. Like, I surfed out here a few times, but to put on and represent like my home, it's pretty special.
Well, it's a special place, my man. Enjoy your time on the twin fin. Yes, Tully Wiley.
Well, Tully, he's done really well in the main event here at Bells in the past. A couple of times he's made that main event and taken on the world's best.
He's one of those guys, Tal, who, when he takes off, you just know that at one point you're going to see such a massive kaboom that it's going to make noise that you can hear from the beach. He's such a vicious attacker of the lip line, and he's one of those surfers who, I reckon a few years ago, you were kind of looking at guys around his age going, I wonder who's going to sort of stick out of this crew. And in that last few years, he's just become such a force, man. Like on the Challenger Series, probably had a first year on that just to get experience, and his second go around will be something special.
Yeah, he's getting close, I reckon.
He's really close.
He's in good form at the moment, and he's probably sick of hearing it, but there's shades of Wilco in there, in the style. Looks like Wilco on steroids, really. His thighs on him, like tree trunks.
All right, so let's see if we can get a ride from Rosy Hodge out there at the moment. She's on the McTavish. I think it's...
Who's winning? Surely it's got to be Louis out in front.
Is it our call?
Or has Tully got it on that big bomb?
Is it our call?
I think it is.
Well, Rosie's on that Bob McTavish. Jess Starling's on the Neil Purchase Jr.
Well, I think there's been a bit of a switcheroo go on, because I just saw Jess look like she was on Steph's 20. So I think she's given...
Really?
Yeah, I think she's given whatever board she was riding to Robbo. So they're not making it easy on us.
That's all right.
I just saw Rosie's on the McTavish, though.
Rosie's on the McTavish.
She got it right. That thing is so beautiful. Such a work of art. You feel bad waxing
All
it
their
up.
boards are works of art. They're just absolutely stunning. And they've actually got a store down in Brookie now as well. So they've got Byron and Brookvale.
Beautiful.
I drop in there for my Bonsoys and occasionally enjoy a Stone and Wood in there, actually. It's just around the corner from work.
Plenty happening out there in the lineup. Not so much at the moment. So let's get to where the real action's unfolding. The Stone and Wood Bar with Flick Parmentier.
Thanks, guys. There's a few things in life that Australians love. Number one, we love good weather. Number two, we love sporting events, especially surfing. And number three, we love beer. And this afternoon, I'm down here on the Stone and Wood Afternoon Delight Bar, and it is popping off. We've got beautiful weather. It's Good Friday. Got the big replay screen in front of me that you can check out all the action. And yeah, come down, check it out. If you're on the event site, it's a beautiful place to be.
Oh, it's a great place to tap into the energy of the event, watch the big screen unfold as we see Rosie up now. Oh, wow. 9-time South African champ. And obviously did a solid run on the CT too.
Just when you think someone can't have any more style, you see a line like that. Just this effortless glide on a pretty lumpy little insider. Cool. Very cool.
Well, Rosie played a part in helping Steph secure, I think, a first world title. Because Silvana Lima and Steph were going at it that year. It was a tight race to the finish line, and Rosie knocked Silvana out of the event at Honolulu, and Steph was crowned world champ. Pretty impressive.
That's really cool. It's crazy how those things happen, isn't it? Like, there's a draft surfboard out there that makes me think of Josh Kerr's little helping hand in that 2012 world title race where Parko and Slater were on either sides of the draw. Whoever got the furthest would take home the world title, and Kersey climbed out of a hospital bed to beat the GOAT and hand his fellow coolie surfer
I don't think he had designs on getting second in the final.
No, he didn't. But, I mean, Parko hadn't won an event that year, so had to be done. And speaking of another little cosmic coincidence, Luke Egan happened to be on the beach that day and said to Joel before he paddled out, "This is your moment, mate. You're not going to win a world title without winning at least one event, so go get it done."
Sick.
How good are those yards? Look at that, all linked together by the Stone and Wood Afternoon Delight Twin Fin session. Who would have thought that that's how it would play out?
Amazing.
Can we tie Jess Starling into this somehow? Well, she'll
be commentating at the Margaret River Pro, and
yeah, go on, link it up.
She was probably born that year.
Yeah. Oh no, it's true. I get to commentate quite a few events on the regional queue with Jess Starling. She's such a good surfer. She surfs in a lot of the events, but also gets into the commentary booth with her sister True, who's commentating on the beach here.
Oh, here's Rosie now. Has lost none of that classic style.
That 20 just looks so perfect for the tempo that Rosie's surfing at.
Yeah.
Oh, look out. Someone's gone left.
Robbo.
He does know this is a predominantly right-hand break. Has anyone told him that?
Well, if anyone should know.
He's out there in boardies because he left his Weddy in the car. No, he didn't have a Weddy in the car. So he just got down here and they said, do you want to go out there? And he was like, yeah. I thought he was just flexing on all the other crew, like, you know, like locals tend to do.
Yep.
Oh, you call this cold?
Yeah, it's all shorts and T.O.s for the locals out here at the moment. Beautiful weather on the opening day. We want those cold fronts to kick in at some point. Often bring that swell.
Well, the wind's come around. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's definitely lining up nicely through Rincon at the moment. And as that tide continues to fill in, those walls will steepen up nicely, and there is a great chance we'll get competition back underway with the opening round of the men's. But right now we're watching Luke Egan, who's just been styling his way through the Afternoon Delight twin fin session. Nice little backhand threes. A couple of solid hits. Here goes Jess. Nice cut back there. Drives up over the foam here. Clean work. Only a third surf out here at Bells. Doing pretty damn well.
Cool style. Tully Wiley. Plenty of drive. I heard you talk before, Rich, yeah, right into the shore. You know, 20s, they can be loose, but you talk to Asher Pacey and Dave Rastovich, and they'll say you can put as much weight onto that tail and get as much drive as you like if your technique is on point.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, there's definitely a way to surf these things, and also setting them up. You've got to make sure they're positioned on the board correctly. They need to be far enough back so that you can control the board and not too far forward that they, you know, get real squirrely off the bottom.
Are you 20 guys? Do you guys surf 20s, mate?
Love them. Surf them all the time.
You hear a lot of guys come off tour and say, oh, it's so nice to just be on a 20 and just not have to do any work.
Yeah. Yeah, they are effortless. You know, you can generate speed super quick compared to a thruster, which obviously has more control because of that centre fin, but the 20s are just so fast. They're so quick. They get up and going, and really fun.
My go-to board at the moment is a light shade of brown. I've been dragging it around the world. I just can't get rid of it. It's a Nav Fox 20 keel fins, and I love it. Can't get off it. And yeah, but I saw Mick, you know, who's always just got the most extremely bright, white, fresh, high-performance surfboard. I saw him in the lineup yesterday. He said, "What are you riding?" I said, "Mate, it's my dream board. Can't get off it."
It's the same colour as Vorno's Smile as well.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty close in colour to the old pegs these days.
I went and got a teeth whitening session when I was in Bali last time, and they said, look, just don't drink any coffee or have anything with, you know, too much colour in it for at least 2 days. And I walked out and got this little chicken soup that I didn't realise just had like 4 spoonfuls of turmeric in it. It was like, I don't even know how to describe the colour of my smile after that.
Yellow.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Like a sunrise.
It was bright.
Yeah. Or a sunset. Afternoon Delight.
Afternoon Delight, exactly. Yeah, actually, look, it was about the same shade as that orange on the Stone and Wood logo.
We got 10 minutes to enjoy watching some of these incredible surfers on these twin fins that have been assembled, especially for this Stone and Wood Afternoon Delight session.
Got another little 20 anecdote for you, Ronnie.
Oh, go.
I was paddling out at Winky one day. I was on a 20. It was about 4 to 5 foot maybe, and I was sitting out there. I'd been waiting for ages. I was at the very top of it, and Simon Anderson comes paddling around the corner, around from the button, and he says to me, "Don't worry, Vaughan. I'm not one of these people who paddles around the button, expects to get the first wave of the next set." And sure enough, the next set paddles up and he starts paddling for it. And I'm like, no. All right, well, he said he wouldn't do it, so I'm going to drop in. So I dropped in on Simon Anderson on a twin fin, went to bottom turn, and my fin snapped out and I took out Simon Anderson. And Joel Parkinson was paddling past. And he was absolutely gutted. He was like, I can't believe you just dropped in on Simon Anderson, the guy who invented the thruster, unleashed it at Bells, on a twin fin and took him out. It's one of the great insults.
I was going to say one of the great examples of karmic justice.
Yeah, it was a mad moment. But, you know, to be fair, I had been waiting for ages,
Rich, here we go. We goes Rosy Hodge again. Found a nice little clean wall to work with here. And Rosie's found the spot on this McTavish board, hasn't she? Really clean combination there.
What do you score that? Is that a 10?
So much flow.
Is that 10? But, Rich, I was going to ask you, you know, there's obviously we've been celebrating the twin fin and talking about, you know, performance-wise, just where you can go on it. If you know how to make it work, if you've got great technique, you can really throw down some big turns. Yet we don't see them a lot in competition. Can you even think of the last time you saw one in a championship tour heat?
Nothing springs to mind. I go back to Curran way back in France against Matt Hoy. I think the story goes he pulled it out from under some house somewhere, and the thing looked like one of these Yeti Eskies. The lid on this thing had a couple of fins sticking out the back of it. He went out and just schooled Hoyo. Hoyo just put the white flag up because Curran was just so stylish. Thing was a log, and he just made it look so good. Was that the last one?
That's the last one I can think of.
Yeah.
You guys probably have mentioned it in the start of this heat, but Josh Kerr just qualified for the Challenger Series exclusively on 20s through the regional queue.
Yeah, and he'll stick with that.
I guarantee you, he'll be surfing that Challenger Series on twins, no doubt. Draft twins.
Did Kelly ride a twin at an event recently in the last couple of years?
Quads, definitely.
He's definitely ridden quads, and he's definitely ridden 20s with a stabiliser, but a straight 20? I don't think so.
No. Yeah, might be right. Might be Curran. All those years ago, that would have been, what, 95?
Yeah, in France it was.
1995, so that's going back. So, be good to see. There is certain venues, I think, you know, probably Head High Bells might be a good place to unload it. As we see Luke up once again. This is just a celebration of good surfing. Well, not that. But we're not scoring these competitors. We're just loving that they're out there having a good time.
It's appreciation time. Appreciation heat.
How many of MR's Bell's trophies were won on twins, do you think? Because you'd think maybe the first one could have been on a single still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really good question.
Mark, let us know. If you're listening, let us know.
Yeah, he would know the dimensions, the template of the fin. He'd have it all written down somewhere. Here goes Rosie again. I think Rosie's making a late charge for the victory in this afternoon delight sesh. And, yeah, incomplete there, but still looking sharp. So not a whole lot of time left, and then we'll be considering potentially getting the men's opening round back underway. We do have some big heats lined up to get through this afternoon. Barramamea, Joe Chianca, Semi Pupo, they'll be on call for the first heat if we do get to resume competition. As we check out Steph's board there.
I don't remember seeing the DHD in the Stone and Wood.
Well, we had a fin blowout for Adam Robinson.
He ripped the whole plug out.
That's what happens when you put it under the feet of just a big power mongrel. Louis. What do you reckon, Rich? This is one of your contemporaries. How stoked were you to see him inducted into the Australian Surfing Hall of Fame?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Give you goosies?
Yeah, absolutely. So stoked for Louis. He's been, just such a big figure in surfing for so many years, and not just when he was on the tour. Obviously, he's got all these accolades and all the events he won and all the things that he's done as a professional surfer, but then post that as well, through the Merriweather Board Club, coaching.
He's coached, huge for him.
Yeah, he's won his world titles through coaching, which he never got to win as a competitive surfer. So, amazing to see him get the recognition he deserves.
Yeah, when we were little Groms, he was just right up the very pointy end of your favourite surfer list. On the back of, Green Iguana and those Jack McCoy films. He was such a hero. But when he got on tour, I think it was about 19 or something, he made a final, a really famous final against Barton Lynch.
At
Pipeline.
Yep.
And then it took 10 years.
He had a mad mullet back then too.
A huge mullet, a real Jason Donovan looking thing from his peak era neighbours.
Makes Masons look like a crew cut.
But 10 years on tour before he broke through for that win at G-Land, and then all of a sudden the floodgates open and he won it pretty much every quality left. He won Mundaka, he won Fiji. Incredible stuff. Like, he needed quality, didn't he? And it was right when the Dream Tour really started firing that Louis found his world title for.
Yeah, absolutely.
A world title challenging for.
Yeah, Adam Robbo, another big hit there on the inside. But I remember even before the Billabong days, as we see Jess Starling coming through the little inside section and at Rincon here, and he was on the O'Neill team, and I got sponsored by O'Neill at that time, and I had to go and do mock heats with him and Brad Gerlach and Robbie Page, and they were training with Greg Day at the time, and I was just couldn't believe it. I was going, oh my gosh, I get to do training sessions with these guys. It was phenomenal. Such a special moment.
That's so sick. And you guys never were on the same team where you pierced your nipples and got all stuck together with chains?
No, we never did the hot tuna thing where things got a bit crazy. But
not even for fun?
Well, we travelled together a lot, and but we never joined nipples. No.
Maybe after this comp, mate. What a cool session.
Great shot there too of the crowd, not only enjoying what they're seeing out there in the lineup, but enjoying a little shorey bash. The Stone and Wood Afternoon Delight twin fin session about to come to a close. Luke Egan just blowing our minds with the timeless style, throwing his MR twin into a couple of spins, couple of backhand threes. On the outside, people are starting to make their way in.
Well, Stone and Wood is the unofficial beer of the Rip Curl Pro. Unofficial, Ron. And there's a lot of people drinking unofficial beers out there right now. The vibe on the hill is so cool. This is kind of the unofficial comp. The unofficial 20 session.
Pretty sick.
It's pretty cool. They got a band about to fire up out there too, just to keep all the punters who have come down. You know how Bells are just. We've been talking about it, Ron, recently. It's just such a bigger event than just a surf comp. It's a big cultural gathering, and it's not just for surfers, it's for everyone. Like, if you love sport, as most Victorians do, they'll make the effort to come down here and check it out. And they're part of it all. It's the town and it's the coastline as well. Like, people will leave here and then they'll go into town and go and check out the Rippy store. And I mean, this is Surf City, really. Victoria, huck down the Great Ocean Road. Yeah, so much to see and do. Do you get a few non-surfers coming up to you guys saying like, "Hey, where's Kelly Slater? What's he up to?"
You never know when he's going to pop up.
Never know. That's the thing. You could just imagine him paddling out without even telling anyone on a 20 and surfing this heat. You never know.
Oh, Luke Egan up again here. He's gone the step off. Cruising, looking out the back. I think we're into the final minute now. What a treat, though.
How good's Crosby and Rio feeling? Through to the next round.
Yeah.
Big performance, heat number one.
Crosby was frothing. He had that kind of spark in his surfing that you get when you've been injured.
Yeah.
You know, when you've been forced out, you don't have the choice not to surf. And he was just looking so comfortable and ready. Saw a bit of that over there in El Salvador, but he's brought it here. He looks sharp. The free surfs have when we first rocked up. He and Griffin were out there looking deadly as. Be good to see them get a repeat of that Bradley heat from last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
They got skunked for waves.
Yeah, they did. We want the repeat. We need it. Unofficial winner or not? We're giving it to him?
Oh, I don't know. Rosy was pretty special.
I think it's I think we
split decision.
We saw something magic from everyone that was out there. Rosie's making her way in now.
Oh, it's Steph-ish, isn't it? Really?
So cool.
Oh.
There's that speed you were talking about, though. When you're on something that thick and wide and flat, the 20, no drag at all.
Yeah, they just go. There's a great shot of Luke, and you can see the outline of that board. And the McTavish, not too dissimilar, a little wider.
Yeah, look good under Rosie's feet, that's for sure.
Bob is the most frothingest human you've ever met. You bump into him up there all the time. He knows his brain is just like dialed into all these like minute little measurements and rail angles and all sorts of things, and he's just frothing, mate. He's one of the best blokes you'll ever meet, and still the most psyched surfer. So epic that he's still making such beautiful boards too.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. The Stunted Wood Afternoon Delight Twin Fin session is a wrap. Good performances from everyone. We'll get a call on what's to come this afternoon right after this.